The topic which I chose today is think big. So, during my PPT, you might feel that some of the ideas are keep on repeating again and again. We might have heard this from somewhere else, but again, some ideas will be repeating again and again. The main motive behind this is, if your basics are clear, the journey becomes easy. So it's just like initially when we started learning to ride the cycle. So initial days we might have felt very hard to balance the cycle, pedaling all those things. But when somebody helped us in riding the cycle, it became somewhat easy for us to ride the cycle. Then when we kept on repeating this process every day with the help of our parents or friends, at one stage came when we were no longer had the fear of falling down or balancing the cycle. It just became a part in our subconscious mind because we are repeatedly doing the action again and again. So similarly, if we repeat some ideas again and again, it will get feed in our mind, in our subconscious mind. So this will make it easy for us that whenever we are in some situation, automatically, unknowingly, the idea will come into our thought process. So, what is success? So, there are two definitions of success. So, success is progressive realization of predetermined worthwhile goals. So, goals should be worthwhile, it should be predetermined, and it has to be tracked progressively on day-to-day basis. And the second definition of success is maximizing the utilization of untapped goal. Maybe we might be good at something, but we ourselves don't know in which we are good. So it is still untapped. So when we keep on exploring new things, this untapped goal will be known to us, and once we achieve it, we can be successful in that event. So now, why we should think big? We should think big because our thoughts, whatever we think becomes our words, then our words becomes the action, our actions on regular basis becomes habit, our habits on regular basis becomes our character, and finally our character becomes our destiny. So it all starts with thought. So if we want to have a great destiny, we should have big thoughts. So generally, 90% of people don't fail because they thought too big and didn't achieve it. They fail because they just thought a smaller one and it became a reality. So, if we want to have a great destiny, we should have a bigger thoughts. Generally, if you notice, school, home, workplace and religion does not promote us to think big. You might have experienced that at home. In your younger age, when you try to express something to your parents that I want to start my business or do something, what will your parents say? Son, right now focus on your study. Don't think about that. Later stage we can think about it. Religion will teach us that whatever you have, be satisfied with it. Don't be very much greedy. Whatever you have, be happy with it. School, workplace, our education system is such way that it teaches us to be, it makes us ready for becoming a job person rather than an entrepreneur. So this is hard to digest, but that is the fact, and I am not saying that every parent school does this way, but majority of them are into this trap. So we all might have heard the story of a boy who has just graduated from his college. So after completing the graduation, he joined a company at a salary of 20,000. So with the salary, he started sending few money to his parents. Then few money he started saving for himself. Then at one stage, the boy was married. The girl whom he married was also educated woman. So later on, both husband and wife decides that let us both work together and take care of our family. So now at this stage, husband might be earning somewhere around 50,000, wife would be earning around 25,000. So now both husband and wife says, from this 75,000, we will start saving some money for our own self. Plus we have our own goals, dreams, ambition. So we will start, both of us will work together and start saving money for it. And later on, both husband and wife has their first child, and then they want to give good education for their children, and then this cycle continues. Is this story relatable? Relatable? Yes. So this is what is called the middle class rat race, where one generation is preparing the upcoming generation to get trapped into this cycle. So now the good news is we can all get out of this trap. So if we want to get out of this rat race cycle, the first step is to think big. So if we think big, there is a possibility that somewhere we can break the cycle and come out of the cycle and have a happy life for our own self. So now our big goal should be for a long term. It's just like if we have any long term goal in a short term, we might not able to achieve it, and at the end we will get demotivated. So it's just like how do you eat an elephant? You cannot eat the entire elephant at a single stretch. One bite at a time, we can eat the elephant. Similarly, goals also, it should be one step at a time, step by step. So now this big goal, whether should we share it to others or we should not share it to others, whether we should keep it secret with us or not, let us see. So just imagine like you had a plan of starting your own business, okay? So now you went and asked your uncle who is a government employee. Uncle, I want to start my business, what is your idea on it? What do you think your uncle will say? No son, focus on your studies, get a well-settled job, business you can think on later stage. So your thoughts were big, but since you asked the wrong person, he didn't allow you to follow your passion. So anytime we should share our long-term goals with only with right people. If we share our goals with wrong people, they will demotivate us, and rather than spending time with wrong people, it's better to be alone. So then here comes a story of a rabbit who was eating carrot in the jungle. So one day a fox comes and asks the rabbit that you are roaming here freely, you don't have any fear that someone might come and eat you. This rabbit says that no, I don't have fear. If you have guts, come along with me to the cave. I will show you who am I. The rabbit says to the fox. So both of them goes inside the cave. So after coming from cave, the rabbit comes out with the bones of the fox. Okay. Then again what happens? Next day again the rabbit roams freely here and there. This time a hyena comes and asks him that what happened? You don't have any fear. Why are you roaming here and there like this? Now the rabbit says that no, you don't know who am I. If you don't have guts, come along with me to the cave. I will show you who am I. So again the hyena goes along with the rabbit to the cave. Again the rabbit comes out with the bones of this hyena. So all this friend of the rabbit was observing all of this, and he asked the rabbit, how are you able to do this? Is there any miracle or magic along with you? So the rabbit says that inside the cave there is a lion. So what happened is the lion was supposed to eat me. I made an agreement with the lion, a friendship that you don't kill me. In return, I will arrange food for you. So you see, so what we understand the story is that make your environment work for you, not against you. So keep company of right people. Here the rabbit kept the company with the lion. So we are average of 5 people whom we roam around. So if we have right people, they will help us during the right time. Then we should have a strong network. If we have a strong network, they will let us know if there is any new opportunities left. Maybe many of you might have joined Fearless using this network. A friend of friend might have referred you that we have a vacancy in Fearless. That's how you came to know that there was a vacancy network. Since you had a strong network, all of us joined over here through some referral. And finally, during this journey, we will need a guide or mentor who can support us, just like the father who was teaching the child as a mentor or a guide how to ride the cycle. Similarly, if we have a guide or mentor in our journey, so they will teach us from the mistakes of their own. They will guide us what you have to do, what you will not have to do. So always make your environment work for you, not against you. So there was a person named Eric Severed. So what happens is during the World War II, while they were traveling on helicopter, due to some emergency landing, three friends were supposed to land on emergency basis. So once they reached the ground, it was somewhere, it's a real life story. So they landed somewhat near India-Myanmar border. Okay. So now these three friends were thinking that how are we going to call the rescue team? So now the rescue team is very far. It will take many months or weeks to reach over there. Because during that time there was, today we have mobile telephone, all those things, but during that time it was not possible to reach them. So one thing, they can either sit there and cry that my life is over, that's it. Or else what they did was, now they had to travel totally 140 miles. So they decided that okay, we will start walking unless somebody we get a help, at least we will start walking. We will start the trekking. So once when they started, since it was a 140 miles, it was a very tired journey for them. They were getting demotivated at every step. In that, few were injured, few got demotivated. So how to do? So what happened is they came up with a plan the next day. What they decided was, rather than thinking I will have to go 140 miles, they thought that let me go till that tree once. So they started from here, let me go to till that tree. They made the destination very small, into small breaks. So they started till the tree. Once they reached the tree, let me go to that stone once. From there, they started towards the stone. In this way, they break their entire journey into small breaks. So this is how they were able to complete 100 miles. So this teaches us that the journey of 1000 miles begins with one step. If we don't start the step, you will never reach your destination. At least you have a start. Let's see what happens on the way. Rather than getting demotivated at the first stretch itself, we have to take action immediately. So what this story teaches us is the importance of doing few things. So we have to focus on few things rather than thinking big things. So we can break our long-term goal into small break, and as I said in the success, progressively keep a track of this. So with this, what will happen is, once you achieve something, you will in turn get motivated. Yes, I was able to do this. Today, suppose you take an example that I want to run a marathon or I want to do a weightlifting or 50 kg. One person was never done a weightlifting. If he straight away goes and does a weightlifting of 50 kg, the next day what will happen to him? He gets motivated seeing all the YouTube videos, everything. Okay, tomorrow I will go and I will straight. A person who has never lifted, never gone to gym, he straight away goes, tomorrow I will go and lift 100 kg weight straight away. What will happen to him? What will happen? He will get back pain. He will get back pain, correct? So similarly, what he can do is he can divide the weightlifting into step by step. Today I will lift 10 kg. Let me lift 10 kg for a few weeks. Then I lift 20 kg. Then I will lift 30 kg. So this way, when he started breaking step by step, his body also didn't feel anything. Step by step, he was able to lift the weight, and at the end, one stage came when he was able to achieve lift a 100 kg weight. So similarly, when we set very big goal which is illogical and unrealistic without any plan, it is likely to fail. So we should focus on small things, like how Eric focused on small steps. Let me achieve till that tree. Similarly, we should also break our long-term goal into step by step. So now, okay, now we have we had big thoughts, we break our thoughts into small steps. Now it is important for us to come out of our comfort zone. So moving out of comfort zone is important both for your personal as well as professional life. All of us know in 12th standard, a boy studying in 12th standard, if he wants to crack the IIT JEE, he cannot crack IIT JEE with his regular studies. He has to take some extra effort moving out of his comfort zone. Then only he will be able to achieve IIT JEE exam. So similarly, there was a entrepreneur named Sam. So he was having a small bakery business. So his bakery business was going good. He used to get good orders from his local area. So what happens is one day he decides that I want to expand my business. So what he does is he takes a course on the e-commerce. He understands how online marketing, how website, all those works. So after so he decided to move out of his comfort zone. So then he launches his own website after researching all those things. On the website he uploads all the delicious cakes, cookies, images on the website. Then he didn't stop over there. He started continuing his marketing in Facebook, Instagram, other things. During this process, few steps worked for him, few steps didn't work for him. Then once he started getting order, he understood the logistic, how delivery system, all those works. Then finally, this resulted in the expansion of his business. So, though Sam was happy with his business, it is not like it was going very bad. It was going well and good, but still, he wanted to achieve something big in his life. So he moved out of his comfort zone. There were times when he was also getting demotivated, but he believed in the process system, and in this way, the end result was very satisfying for him. So now, let me ask you a few questions. So this man says that if I was young, I would have started my business. This man says that I don't have proper degree, so I cannot get this job. This person says that I am so much busy in my work, I don't have time to start my own business. Of course, he came from a very big college, so he can easily crack the job. I came from a small college, from a small village, so this job is not for me. I don't have money left at the end of the month for saving. So, are you familiar with all these statements? According to you, what are these statements? What are these statements? In conclusion, if you can tell what are these statements, what could be that one word? Okay. So all of these are excuses which we give our own self. We in turn try to make our brain motivated that this was the reason I was unable to do this. We are trying to motivate our own brain by giving these excuses. That I am not young, so I cannot do this. I don't have degree, I cannot do this. I don't have money, I cannot save. So all these are excuses which we are giving to our brain for a long time. So now this is actually a disease called as excusitis. So in this what happens is we give common excuses on day-to-day basis related to our age, education, talent, money, family background. All these excuses we keep giving us. So the disease is called excusitis. So now a more successful person is the lesser excuse he or she makes. So now there are 3 ways to overcome this disease. The first thing is your attitude is important than the intelligence. So this man, he had just one hand, but he was a very good golfer. When somebody asked him that how are you able to play golf so well with just one hand? So for that what he replied was, the right attitude and one arm will beat the wrong attitude with 2 arms. I repeat, the right attitude and one arm will beat the wrong attitude and 2 arms every time. He just had one arm, but he had the right attitude. Had he had 2 hands with wrong attitude, it would have not been beneficial for him. So the attitude is very important. Let's understand this with another example. So suppose there are 2 employees. So one employee is experienced employee. He does all the job whatever is assigned to him perfectly. We have a second employee who is just a fresher, who has recently joined. He is not so experienced, but two employees are there in a company. So now the first employee, he does all the job given to him perfectly. Whatever job was given to him, he has completed on time. Second employee, what he does is, once he has finished his job, he supports other co-workers. Whenever any new person comes, he greets them. When any other department asks him for help, he also, once he has completed his job, on the leftover time, he supports other employee in finishing their job. So this way, he is thinking of company's growth. The first employee has done whatever job was done to him. The second employee is doing few extra things. Now suppose you are the boss of this company and you want to promote any one of these two employees. Whom would you promote? So I am sure you will be promoting second one. So why did you promote second one? So now you see, having experience and intelligence is nothing if you don't have the right attitude. This second one didn't have intelligence experience at start, but he had the right attitude. Whereas the second person had good experience, good intelligence, but his attitude was missing in that. So changing your attitude is more enough to make a big difference. Then the second way to overcome the disease is knowing how to think is more important than the intelligence. So once the interview was going on, so she asked the first interviewer, can you tell me what is the height of this building? He tells that, yes, I am the best architect, I have memorized all the structure of the building. So according to me, the building height is 25 meters. So what he said was correct, absolutely correct. Now she asked the same question to second interviewer. Do you know the height of the building? He tells that, excuse me ma'am, I don't know. But he goes out, he checks the length of his shadow, he checks the length of the building, he does ratio proportion accordingly. He comes back and he tells that, according to my calculation, it should be somewhere around 23 to 24, somewhere around that. Now you tell me, whom will you hire? The first person gave the correct answer. He memorized all the buildings, everything. The second person, he didn't give the answer, but he went out, he used his brain, he calculated what is the height of his shadow, what is the height of the building, and at the end he comes and tells that it is somewhere around, though it was not correct, but he gives the idea that it is somewhere around 23 to 24 meters. So now tell me, whom will you hire from these two interviews, from these two candidates, if you get a chance? Second one. So why did you choose second one? Because he knows how to think. He knows how to use his business, how to use his brain. So you see that the ability to think is more important than memorizing the fact. The first person memorized all the facts, but at the end of the day, how to use the brain, the second candidate used his brain properly, and which made him crack the job interview. So this tells us that we have to be creative, we have to think out of the box sometimes. Just by having a high IQ will not help us be successful in our life. Apart from having high IQ, we should think out of the box and explore new things. And the third way to overcome this disease is never underestimate your own intelligence and never overestimate the intelligence of others. Never think you are small. It's just that as of now you don't know you are good at which thing. So keep exploring, keep studying new things. Never think that the other person is getting good grade than me, so he will be maybe more knowledgeable person. So the first thing is we should never underestimate our own intelligence, and we should never overestimate the intelligence of others. The biggest excuse which we give today is the age excuse. I am too old to start something, or I am too young to start something. This one excuse has closed the door for several people in India. So he says that had I been young, I would have started my business. But I am right now 40 years old, so I am too old to start my business. So now let me ask you one question. What is the average age when we start being productive? At what age do we start earning money? Averagely. At what age?
23, 24.
Around 20. Now, at what age generally our productivity ends? At what age we retire in general? 58, 60. So I asked the same question to Google, and Google also said me the average age to start is 20 and the average age to retire is 60 in India. So now you see that we have totally 40 years to be productive. We start at 20, we end at 60, we have 40 years to be productive in our entire career. So now this guy who is still just 40 thinking I am too old to do something, he has just reached 50% of his productive life. He still has 50% life left. Similarly, youngsters who are just in their 20s saying that I am too young to start something, they have still 100% left to do something. Let them start something. As Sam failed many times, but he didn't give up the process. He believed in it. Similarly, you may not believe me, but you can believe Max. This is the calculation. We have 40 years to be productive. So, how many of you have heard the story of Chinese bamboo tree? You have heard. Remaining, nobody has heard?
No.
Okay. So those who have heard, I will tell you once again so that remaining people can listen it. So what happens is, if you compare, I will give you two examples, Chinese bamboo tree and a normal tree. So what happens is, year one, when we start seeding the plant, in the Chinese bamboo tree, both are similar at the year one. Year two, there is no growth in the Chinese bamboo tree. Whereas, the normal tree started growing out. Year 3, again the bamboo tree is still the same. Whereas the other tree has started becoming big. Year 4, still the bamboo tree is still the same. During this time, if we stop watering, the bamboo tree dies on that spot itself. On the other hand, the normal tree grows big. Year 5, again the bamboo tree is still the same where it was at the starting, whereas the other tree has grown such a big up to 20 feet tall. So now what happens after 5th year is, in the next 5 weeks it grows up to 90 feet tall. So initial 5 years there was no growth, but the next 5 weeks the bamboo tree grows even taller than this normal tree. The normal tree is 20 feet, the other bamboo tree becomes 90 feet tall. So this brings us to the concept of tipping point and exponential growth. So what a tipping point is, so initially we might predict that our life is going at the dotted line side. In the initial days, once we started doing something, we might feel that okay, my life is will be going in this journey. But just like the bamboo tree, initial 5 years there was nothing major exponential growth. A point comes when we started doing something again and again, we become so expert in it that suddenly an exponential growth starts to happen, which even you didn't expect. So initial days, the success is not visible, but it is there. That stage, the roots of the bamboo tree is getting strong. Outside it is not visible to world. Similarly, it is not visible to us. We ourselves don't know that where we will be reaching at the end. The point at which this exponential growth starts is the tipping point. So we should never underestimate the power of compounding. So a small change or action can lead to significant or rapid growth in a long term. Then we should never stop learning. We should keep learning. Just on regular basis, our mobile receives software updates time to time. Similarly, we should also keep updating ourselves with the changing world. So today's version of you is not suitable for tomorrow, because today the world is changing at a very rapid rate that if we don't update ourselves, we will be left behind. So now we all know it is dream of Bhatt sir and Mohan sir. make Fearless a 500 crore company. Correct? So now, can anyone tell me what could be the negative impact of this dream? Negative impact. There is no negative impact. Okay, let me give you an example. Maybe we might have extra work pressure. See, with current scenario, we cannot reach 500 crore. We have to move out of our comfort zone. So in that way, we will have work pressure on us. Correct or not? During this process, maybe we might have to implement new system, new rules. Some people might like it, some people might not like it. Some dealers might like it, some may not like it. So is it possible that those dealers can leave us and go, or those employees can leave us and go? Are these negative or not? Agreed? On the other hand, what could be the positive impact of this dream? Positive impact. No positive, no negative, no positive. Big goal, big thinking. Okay. So, as I said, negative impact could be work pressure, implementation of new rules, maybe we might have to remove few employees or few employees might leave. On the other hand, the positive impact would be job creation. Another thing could be boost of Indian economy. Then, with our manufacturing unit, we can make in India. If we grow, our existing distributor also grow along with us. Then, even for us employee, it will be a growth opportunity for us. If our company is growing, we will also keep growing. If we share our vision with the right vendors, it is possible that they will also in turn think big and they will expand their own company. Like currently, if we are buying tubes from LabTech, currently suppose their capacity is example 1 lakh a day. Our current is 100 crore. If they keep similar 1 lakh also, with that we may not able to achieve 500 crore. We might have to ask our vendor to increase their own capacity also. So from 1 lakh, they will go to 5 lakhs. With that, we will also achieve our 500 crore. So we can give them two options. Either you can build your production, or else we will search some other vendors who can help us in achieve this journey. So if we share our vision to vendor, they will also start thinking big of that company, and then in future maybe we can list ourselves on stock market and we can share our wealth with the shareholders, stakeholders. We can also do more charity with the CSR fund. If we are earning more, we can give more charity to CSR fund. So now, one end, our directors can think that, is my dream really that big? For the sake of my dream, I am putting a lot of pressure on my employees. I have to lead many people. Is my dream really that good? They might have a feeling of guilty. Whereas on the other hand, if we think of the positive impact, that could be a motivation for them to think about that. So we have to identify a positive goal, that why we are doing something. So this positive reason is like in a dark room, when we light a candle, small candle, that small candle will brighten the entire room. No matter however dark the room is, a small candle is enough to brighten that room. Similarly, no matter how much ever negative thoughts, negative feelings we have, just find one positive reason. That positive reason will give you a motivation to believe in your dream, believe in the process and keep continuing. Then big goal should be achieved without compromising on the values. It's not like we can do wrong things and achieve the big goal. Big goal has to be achieved keeping values, ethics in mind. With wrongdoings, we can achieve big for a short term, but it won't sustain for a long term. So big goal, so true success is not about achieving, but also upholding the values and making a positive impact. So now during this journey, how can we manage fear in this journey? So the first thing is, we have to accept that we have fear. Unless you accept something, you cannot work on it. Then, as in the entire PPT you understood, we can break our big goals into small steps. So this way, when we achieve it, we will have a sense of motivation. Our fear will, initial time we will have fear, but as the step goes on, the fear, when we achieve something, the sense of motivation will be very bigger than the fear. Then we can seek support from our mentors, friends, supportive network who will help us in doing this. So if we start taking action, this action will kill our fear. The first step to kill the fear is to start taking action. So thinking big is just the beginning. We have to think hard work, smart work. We may fall sometimes. With the help of our guide mentor, we can again get back. Then we can start exploring new things, search what is that untapped goal with us. So thinking big is just the first step. Thank you.